Hi everyone, and welcome to another anime manga monthly pickups video thing. It's been a little while since I've done a video of this sort. Sorry about that, or I've done a video in general. But this is everything I got in the month of August. A lot of manga, so I'll do that last. A couple anime and one figure, but I won't really spend too much time on those. And hopefully I can get through this a little faster than I generally do. So without any further ado, first off I have one scaled figure. It's the 1/8 scale from Kotobukiya, from the Artifacts J line, and that is Grell. Very, very, very nice scale from a character we don't really see figures of that much. It matches very well with the rest of the Black Butler Artifacts J line, and personally I think the expression is just spot on. The sculpt is very nice, the colours are very nice, and as a contrast to the other figures out in this line already, it's very, very bright and really pops out. After that, I have two anime. One is something new. The other one is something I already have, but rebought just to have a second copy. So, the new thing is Funimation's release of Noragami. I really, really, really love Noragami, both as the anime and the manga. The manga is overall better, but I think Bones did a great job with the adaptation. I know the ending isn't perfect, but I'm definitely looking forward to the second season. And I don't think there's anything that wrong with the ending of this. I've gotten the limited edition, so in the little chipboard box as per usual for Funimation, with both the DVD and Blu-ray. Really, really like this show, really happy to have it, and I'm looking forward to the new season in October. Next is actually something I bought from Amazon Japan, but it is actually a European release, and that is the Anime Legend set of Vanitas. I really, really like this show. As you can see, it's the Bees release, which means that this has the English dub, English subtitles, French subtitles, Polish, Russian, German, Spanish, everything you could think of, really. It's the overall English release, or European release of this title. It's Region 2 DVD, which is expected, and I'm really happy to have it because the US release is quite hard to find. As you can see, the back is all in French, so this would have originally been sold in France, but I don't really mind either way. This also has the French, German, and Italian dub on it. So if you ever wanted to watch the show in Italian, you could with this. I really, really enjoy this show. My US copy of this is currently being lent out to a friend who has had it for a very long time, and I'm not worried about it. I know she still has it, but for the future, I wanted this copy to lend out, so then I wouldn't have to worry about whether or not I would ever see it again. And just because it is a very hard to find show, and but I do think it is worth a watch. I think it's a very good series and very interesting. Not really a topic you see all that often. And that's it for the anime. Next is only one light novel. I only got the one this month, and that is Spice and Wolf Volume 15, Coin of the Sun. This is not this is the third last book in the series. Some huge developments in this one. I loved reading it. It was just extremely engaging the entire time. I am really looking forward to the ending. At the same time that I'm not looking forward to the ending, I'm very sad when it'll be over. But Spice and Wolf, just as a franchise, is fantastic. I think the writing quality is great. The English translation of the books is very good. They kind of retain that style and that mood that Spice and Wolf has. So, next volume, 16, Coin of the Sun 2, is the penultimate volume, and then it finishes off with the 17th volume. And I don't know quite where it's going to head from here, but I assume some trouble is going to arise, something's going to be resolved, and it's just going to be a lot of fun, a good way to send it out. And yeah, so looking forward to the next one. Now with manga, first off I have Arashi Toka's Noragami, Volume 6. This is kind of the second or finishing part of the current arc that it's in. So Bishamon stuff. I think this is kind of where the new anime is going to end, which I look forward to because it is a very good part of the story. Arashi Toka has a great sense of what they want to do with their story and with their characters. And next volume is Volume 7, obviously. It's coming out, I think, next month. And then after that, all Noragami volumes are going to be released monthly rather than bi-monthly. Which is both good and bad news. Good news because I am very excited to see how the story is developing. Bad news because my wallet is not going to be too happy. But Noragami is a series that I don't really want to fall behind on. I'm behind on so many things, but Noragami, I think, is engaging enough and I'm invested enough in the characters that I want to really see where it's going. Next is Yen Press's Omnibus 2 of Emma, Victorian Romance, by Kaoru Mori. The slipcover is a little bit bent, but I don't mind too much. This is a fantastic release. Having watched the anime first, I'm kind of surprised at how quickly the pacing of the first season went, and then now how different the pacing of the second season is in relation to what happens in the manga. It's very interesting to see, but I love Emma. Kaoru Mori has a huge interest and passion in the Victorian era, so her research is amazing. The detail on everything from clothes to food utensils to architecture to plants is just, everything is pretty much perfect. And the story itself is very good, fairly typical of what you would expect from a title such as Emma, a Victorian Romance. But it's nice to see such a range of characters. Mori has a very distinct style with her faces and that, but none of her characters are confusing. You don't have to worry about not knowing who's talking or who is interacting with each other. And of course that's always a good sign for an artist, because you don't want people to be confused when they're reading your work. So yes, Emma, very good. Looking forward to the third volume, and then with that one we'll be more than halfway through the series. There's 10 volumes in all with the single paperbacks. So with the hardcover omnibus there's going to be 5 altogether. and I can't wait. I don't know whether there's more stuff in the manga than the anime. If there is, I look forward to reading it. Next is Volume 2 and Volume 3 of the Omnibus for Monster from Viz. Volume 2 and Volume 3. I've been meaning to get these for a little while. I'm still behind. I still need 4, and I think 5 has just come out, so I'm not quite caught up yet, but I'm not as far behind as I was. As with all the Monster releases, the covers match up very well, and yeah, I haven't actually read these ones yet. I want to kind of sit down and read through majority of the series once I have some time and once I own them. But Monster, I've owned the anime, I've seen it, I've read it before through the library, but it's just a fantastic series to get to re-experience. Next is the final volume of Soul Eater Not, which is Volume 5. Not a huge fan of Soul Eater Not, but as a big fan of Soul Eater, I did read it for the world building. I do think it kind of comes into its own story at the end quite well. It's not unexplained. You can understand where the story was trying to go. It's very good if you like girls doing cute things or girls doing nothing, those sorts of shows or series. They're not my favorite type of series, but I think with the added interest of the whole Weapon Meister dynamic world thing going on, it's a little more interesting than just normal people doing normal boring things. But yeah, it's finished. It's not too long. If you're a fan of Soul Eater, I say try it. I don't know if I would say buy it because everyone's tastes are different, but you do see kind of old favorites again in this series. The new characters are very, they're very cute, but they're also quite fun to read about, and you do get some backgrounds on some of the other characters from Soul Eater. Most notably Kim and Jacqueline. Next is another ending of a series. I finally decided to finish some things up. I didn't want to start things before finishing things. Sort of start a new manga series without having finished some. So it's Volume 21, Volume 22, and Volume 23 of Hikaru no Go. That's the end. I read it. I love it. It's very, very good. It's a very typical shonen sports sort of ending, but I think it has a lot of thought put behind it. It's not quite as huge a fanfare ending like some sports series or more traditional sports series are, I guess. But you really do notice how much the characters have grown throughout the series with these last couple volumes, and how much larger the world of Go it was becoming at the time, or it still is becoming. Hikaru no Go, definitely one of my favorite, more typical shonen sports series. I want to do a manga review on that, so I will sometime in the future, so look out for that. And of course, just fantastic artwork, fantastic story writing. Very, very happy to have finished it. And next is all BL, so if there's a little bit here, I won't go into too much detail with it, but if you're not interested in that, now's the time to leave because there's nothing else. But yeah, so I'll just go over this quickly. First is Nakamura's World's Greatest First Love, Volume 2. Probably the only Nakamura series I actually enjoy. I don't really like Junjuro Romantica. Hybrid Child was okay, but not fantastic. And Nakamura isn't one of my favorite BL authors anyway. I think she falls into a lot of the traps of the BL genre, and her artwork is kind of awful when it's not trying to be funny. I think she does funny faces and expressions very well, but the rest of it is just like, oh, okay, that's kind of typical of the genre. Yeah, this volume is, I can't remember actually what happened in it at all. It's been a while since I've read it. But yeah, Sublime has been releasing this Viz's BL line, and translation quality is good, printing quality is good. I will be getting the rest because I do actually like this one, or at least I like majority of the characters and couples, I guess, than compared to our other works. So, yeah. Next is Does the Flower Blossom by Shoko Hiraka, which is a June title. Volume 1 out of a couple volumes. 2 hasn't come out yet, which is not surprising. It was scheduled for, I think, March, but June has pretty much no publishing schedule at all. They don't follow it. But I think it's more so Digital Manga Publishing's fault than their actual subtitle June. But yeah, interesting. I knew nothing about this before I bought it. I actually, the art's pretty good. The story's interesting, but I don't really know where it's going. Well, I know where it's going, but like, I don't know if how things are going to develop from here. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. There's nothing like too explicit. There's no real relationship at all at this point in that manga. Just kind of a realization sort of thing. And the next are both Ko Yonada series. The first one is Nights, which is a Sublime release. And the next one is Twittering Birds Never Fly 2. I don't actually have volume 1, but I do really, really love this series from her. Yonada has a lot more explicit artwork or story, I guess, than some of the other BL I buy, but I really love her artwork. I think her characters are very interesting. She has very unique settings, I think, for some of her stuff. And yeah, I do. It's very hard to find her stuff. It always has a very small print run for some reason, even though she's extremely popular. So I'm waiting for the reprint of the first volume of this. I'm looking forward to some of her other works that are being published either for the first time in English or being reprinted, so that I will be able to own a bit more of her stuff. She's a bit like Fumi Yoshinaga, who I kind of buy everything from her because I just enjoy her work so much. But yes, so that's everything I got this past month. Quite a lot more manga than I really realized. It wasn't until I got, everything out and made sure that I hadn't missed anything that I was like, wow, I got a lot of manga this month. But, I mean, that's not really a bad thing. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's not a bad thing. But, yeah, I don't actually know if I've got anything on pre-order aside from figure stuff. So I have really no idea what September has in store for me. But I'm sure there'll be something by the end of the month. So look forward to that. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.